Manchester, people's love for football runs like blood through their veins.
To the football fans of Manchester, Eric Cantona is a demigod.
Eric made the difference, which makes a big player. You know, when you need to win, he comes up with the goods, and that's what he did.
He arrived here in 1992 and changed football in the city forever.
He just had an aura of invincibility that everybody used to think that whatever happens to Eric, he's going to decide which team's going to win today.
With Eric, United became the undisputed #1 club in Manchester. But now Manchester City's newfound millions threaten his legacy.
It's put Man City on the front page, where we used to have it.
For both sides, the stage is set for the fiercest battle ever. So this year, Eric came back to see for himself what's changed in the city in the lead up to last season's final crucial derby clash.
To understand this city, you have to understand the strength of the fans' passion for their club. I want to understand where their simple and beautiful love for football comes from.
The shooting opportunity invited! Eric Cantona again for Manchester United!
Eric Cantona is special to Manchester. United fans call him King Eric. In the 1970s and 80s, the club's fortunes Eric changed all that. In 5 years, United won domestic football's biggest prize not once, but 4 times. During the Eric years, Man United became the most successful team in Britain and the biggest club in the world.
That mystery that comes with Eric, that sort of French sort of confidence and arrogance that he brought to the team and brought to the pitch and brought to his play.
Just give everyone around you a lift. But Cantona...
In a press conference after his 8-month ban for attacking a fan.
When the seagulls...
14 years later, and Eric has lost none of his enigmatic charm. He's back to see if the rivalry between the city's 2 great teams has intensified since his time here, as they prepare to go head-to-head in the ultimate footballing clash, the Manchester Derby. Cantona has ensured his place in United's history. But both the red and blue halves of Manchester have their footballing icons, as well as their colourful pasts, which makes the rivalry what it is today.
Most people, including me, don't know the history of the football clubs very well. That's why I wanted this story to be told.
Both teams were founded at the end of the 19th century, with United formed by the railway workers of Newton Heath 3 years before the original City team of Ardwick FC.
It was the working people of Manchester who created the 2 clubs of City and United. Labourers, artisans of the Industrial Revolution, modest people who fled their factories at the weekend to go to the stadium.
From the word go, allegiances were made in the city that would be passed down for generations to come. And in the period up to World War II, it was Man City who took most of the glory. During the war, Manchester was bombed, and with Old Trafford badly hit, both teams played at City's ground, Maiden Road, and the rivalries were put aside. Then in 1945, United gained a new manager who was to transform the fortunes of the club. Matt Busby had played for City, but it was as United's manager that he left his indelible mark on football.
I think since the day Matt Busby walked through the doors here at Old Trafford, Manchester United developed into a world brand, simply because his vision of playing football.
He always said that, give me a young player and let me bring him up in my image and let me teach him to play the way I want the game played, and he'd done that.
Busby built United's attractive style and gave the fans a pride that lasts to this day.
We had a player called Duncan Edwards, you must have heard of him. He was the champ. He was perfect. He was fantastic. He could do everything with a ball.
Norman Williams and Jim Kenyon are unique among United fans. They're the only ones permitted to watch training. They've been doing so since the Busby years, and when Eric was there, they became firm friends.
Oh, Eric.
How are you?
Lovely to see you.
Hi. Nice to see you.
Lovely to see you, Eric.
You didn't change.
Rick,
How are you? All right.
thank you. You
Nice
are?
to see you.
Yeah.
Very good.
I'm 80 now.
Yeah.
Had a big birthday cake
80.
from me. Yeah, last week. The other week.
You didn't change. Still fit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Still go 15 rounds.
Think of all the times we were together.
Very
aren't
happy
you?
Yeah,
memories.
yeah.
Oh, no.
Great memory. Yeah.
Great times, weren't they?
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. A privilege to watch it.
Yeah,
A
it
privilege to
was.
watch it.
Having seen so many United teams, including Eric's, Jim and Norman still believe the Busby Babes were the greatest.
The football they played, we used to go on away grounds and we were really arrogant because we knew we'd like the flow with the team we played, you know. And they've gone on to win 3 or 4 European Cups in the 60s. No question about that.
But we'll never know. On 6th of February 1958, United suffered its darkest day. A plane carrying the Busby Babes back home from a European match crashed on takeoff in Munich. 8 players lost their lives. For the whole of Manchester, time stood still.
From the ashes of Munich, a great team and a great team spirit was created. And 3 players, the Holy Trinity of Manchester United, emerged to take the club to glory.
The 3 stars of Busby's new team, George Best, Dennis Law and Bobby Charlton, were now United's future.
We were always told by the manager, Sir Matt Busby, you see all those people walking to work? They used to walk past here every morning, and he says, they're going to work, and at the weekend they're coming to see the football, so you have to make sure that you're not boring for them.
Like Cantona, George Best was an iconic player who epitomised United's attractive playing style.
George Best could not only play football, he was a symbol, if you like, of changing Britain. People were going out, and they had more entertainment, lively music, and football moved with those times. He was admired by the men, and he was loved by the girls, caught the imagination of everybody.
Best. Oh, this is real Best wizardry.
Busby's team of the 60s made it back to the top just 10 years after Munich, when they achieved their ultimate goal of a European Cup victory. And with cruel irony, it happened just as their neighbours at Manchester City finally won their first league title for 31 years.
When they won the league championship at Newcastle, the last match of the season, the following week we won the European Cup. You know, they've been a bit unlucky in that respect.
And that really has been the story of Manchester City. They've struggled hard and they've fought hard to keep up with Manchester United, but as soon as they seem to kind of get close, they have a bit of bad luck like that.
"14 years after he led United to glory, Eric Cantona has returned to Manchester. His bond with the fans remains as strong as ever.
I received so much from the fans, like nowhere else in my career, and I want to give them this love back.
Eric is revered for leading United's transformation in the 90s, just as George Best had done years earlier with their first European Cup win in 1968. But Man U's fortune soon changed again. In 1974, Dennis Law, United's star striker, swapped sides to play for arch-rival City and scored the winning goal in a game that saw United relegated. The ultimate betrayal for United fans.
Across for Law! Dennis has done it!
The news that night, it was played quite a few times, that back keeler, and his reaction, he was drained. He was drained. You know, he didn't enjoy it.
He just walked off. He never showed any sort of They did put his arm in the air like he normally does when he scored a goal, walked back to centre spot, and then he just walked off the field, and Dennis Law never played again.
And no elation there at all from Dennis Law.
City went on to win the League Cup 2 years later. But since that victory, the club hasn't picked up a single piece of silverware for 34 years, while United has become the biggest club in the world. But this year, City are a resurgent force. They've been bought by Abu Dhabi-based Sheikh Mansour, and the rivalry has intensified.
All of a sudden, this Middle East sheikh has bought the club, and there's an enormous amount of money, and he's thrown a lot of money immediately on his team to get above United.
With the derby getting ever closer, tension in the city rises.
I played in many derbies. It's like no other match. You are playing for the pride of your team and the pride of your city. And on the pitch, you have to win for the fans.
Mancunian fans' passion for their clubs influences every aspect of their lives. It can shape childhoods.
Show the man on the picture. Who've we got on this picture, Becca? Daddy, where's Daddy? Show him Daddy on the picture. Good one. And who's that there, Becca? Who's that? Fergie. Fergie, good one.
It can ruin relationships.
We separated, we just grew apart, but one of the things she said to me was that, one day you will meet somebody who loves United as much as you do.
And it can inflict real hurt.
It's just so painful that you just feel sick when it's just not going your way, and it hurts.
It's difficult because if you're...
Laura Wolfe is a passionate Man City fan, whose love of the Sky Blues was inherited from her mother Joy.
We'll see. For me, when you've had a derby, there's nothing better than the morning after when we've won to ring all those revs.
There is that feeling there. But on the other hand, I've taken a hell of a lot of stick from my Manchester United friends who can't wait to ring up and have a go.
Pete Boyle is a fervent United fan, and he's created a special role for himself as a self-appointed club lyricist.
Everyone's got a talent. I mean, I've always been good at writing lyrics, and there's a song which I still sing now, called Eric the King. It's based on an old 60s song by the Scaffold called Lily the Pink. And the chorus is where we all raise the drink, like, we'll drink a drink to Eric the King, the King. He's the leader of our football team. Raise the greatest, centre forward, that the world has ever seen.
Passionate support for United in the Kelly household is a father-son thing, and the derby game in just a few days' time is already under the microscope.
So City want to get into Europe for the Champions League, so they'll be all up for a derby match against United. You know they always are.
But I suppose if we're not up for the derby match with 4 games to go to the end of the season with a chance of winning the league, then you don't deserve to be in them games, do you?
Sean Kelly's shrine to his beloved team is testament to how he feels.
My only passion in life really has been Manchester United and football. When I got my first season ticket, that was absolutely brilliant. I've had some fantastic times with United. I've spent an awful lot of money on United, and I've had the opportunity of meeting some of my heroes.
Sean embodies a level of devotion for his club that few other sports can attain.
Love beating United.
City fan Natalie has decided to make her commitment to her club more than skin deep.
I was 16, I took my new City shirt with me to show the man the badge, and I just said to him, he was like, how do you want it? And I was like, well, make it a bit girly so it's a bit more colourful than the actual badge. You're only going to see it if I want you to see it.
Rooney probably should have scored.
Sean always likes to debate with his son about the current state of United, but today's chat is about to turn into something special.
For 1 point, because I know it's important for them to get there, but unfortunately they haven't got the experience of being able to do that. So it's going to be
Nice to meet you.
Fantastic to meet you. How are you? An absolute pleasure to meet you. An absolute pleasure. That's unbelievable. We're definitely going to win the league now. Definitely going
Eric
to
surprises one of United's biggest fans to understand his passion. And Sean wants to know just what Eric thought when he first joined the club.
Well, when you came to United in 92, 93 and we hadn't won the league for so many years, could you see it in the team at that time that you thought they were good enough?
Yeah, because it's a year before when with Leeds United we won the league, but United was a very strong team, so they had a team to win the league.
Yeah.
And I came and just
you were the missing link.
Just tried. I don't know.
Well,
I just wanted.
Yeah, well, that's what
try to
yeah, well, that's
give
what
the best
everyone says. And
I could give.
Yeah.
I just wish we could get a few more like Eric and give the best of that mandate.
All the ambition we can have is to give. We try hard, we train hard, and so when we won the league with United, after it was easy.
Yeah. The lifting of the
was much
the
easier.
weight that had been around for 26 years amongst the players. And again,
so I was lucky to arrive at this time.
Yeah, but we were lucky you arrived.
Yeah.
there's two ways of looking.
Great experience and a great thing to see Eric walk through the living room door. It's something I'll remember for a long time.
I'm just completely and utterly gobsmacked. I cannot believe that Eric Cantona has been in my front room looking at all my United stuff and expressing interest in it, and to see the season and to get one particular photograph, and I always wanted him to get to sign it, and for him to arrive in my own front living room and do it is just absolutely incredible. I would have hoovered if I had known he was coming.
With the upcoming derby match days away, only a win will keep United in contention for the league title, just as it was in Eric's first season at the club.
I came to Manchester in 1992. For 5 years, Manchester welcomed me. I felt at home, like nowhere else in my entire career.
Cantona, the Messiah, and now the captain.
He had an imperial look about him, with his collar turned up, and that rather arrogant look about him.
That is magnificent by Cantona.
Cantona played for Manchester United at the right time. United had a young team, the class of '92 as we call them. They were very naive, and Eric Cantona arrived and he became their teacher.
David Beckham, Gary Neville, Philip Neville, Paul Scholes, Ryan Giggs, Nicky Butt. And he was put in the middle of all these unbelievably enthusiastic young players. And everything took off here.
And you knew with Eric in the team that if you got a chance he would put it away, or if you got the chance to make a goal he would. And it was them tight games really that Eric made the difference, which makes a big player.
Cantona's impact on derby matches was huge. 3 years before he arrived, the club had endured a humiliating defeat in a match City fans still savour to this day. With half an hour still to play, City were leading 4-1.
Great ball for David White from Ian Bishop. Early cross, chance at the far post, just marvellous stuff.
When you're 4-1 up against United, for your left back to score a fifth goal like that and celebrate in the way that I did, that's maybe why it's been remembered so fondly throughout the years.
My lasting memory of that game was Andy Hinchcliffe scored the fifth goal. I think it was a diving header, and he ran past the United fans with his fingers up, 5-5.
Andy Hinchcliffe finished it off.
The salute that I gave, I think, was on the back of the fact that everyone, the euphoria going around the stadium kind of carried you along as well, so maybe that's why I reacted in the way that I did.
I'm old enough and sensible enough now to realise that was just a game, and it was just, but I was furious when that happened.
That 5-1 defeat was still hanging in the air for Cantona's first derby at City's ground in November '93.
I think we'd just been knocked out of the Champions League off Galatasaray in the week, so there was a lot of pressure. When United lose a game, there's just massive pressure, and then you've got another big game. So, you know, if you'd have lost that game, the Wolves would have been out. They would have just finished. They're gone.
To make matters worse, City took a 2-0 lead before half-time.
So we're down 2-0 at half-time in a derby game is not easy. But you know what happens in football? A goal changes the game, and their centre-back had a bad header back towards his goal, and Eric came on to it and scored, and the game absolutely changed.
Bruce. Oh, present for Cantona, and United are back in business.
Eric started dropping in, orchestrating everything. They couldn't get to him. He got the second goal from a Ryan Giggs cross, and they crumbled. They crumbled.
Manchester is a city that came alive in the 80s and found its voice not just through football, but through music. And I saw the emerging Manchester scene.
As players like Cantona began to take on iconic status, Manchester itself had become a mecca for music, especially on the club scene, at the legendary Hacienda.
All the footballers went to the Hacienda, and there was one wonderful night when there was a party downstairs where a lot of the footballers were there, and I'd brought my car in. I'd driven to town with the best intentions, given up and parked my car inside the Hacienda, and when I came up to leave to get a taxi home, Ryan Giggs was sat on my bonnet, and I said, "Hey, get off there," as you do, you know, and he went, "No." And I got the bouncers to throw him out. But you got used to having all the footballers there because it really was the centre of Manchester's nightlife.
Yeah, me and my mates would go to the Hacienda. We were fully aware of what Manchester was like at that time, with, you know, Stone Roses, Happy Mondays, and Spiral Carpets, all that sort of scene, and it was a great place to live. It was a great place to go out.
The Hacienda was a brilliant place to be at that time, you know. It was fresh, people were coming together, people were having ideas, people were starting bands, people were becoming artists, people were writing plays, people were painting.
I think people feel very passionate about not much, you know, in their life. So people are looking for something where they can fulfill their passion and their dreams. And music and football are the two biggest things. Music does have that power to bring the fans together. You get Manchester United fans go and see Oasis. You know, despite the fact that Noel in particular, Noel and Liam, are so upfront about the fact that they are City supporters and they hate United.
My team, Man United, they come out to This Is the One by the Stone Roses every week, and I'm so proud of that.
You can't really beat that, can you?
You can't beat it. I can die tomorrow and I'll die happy, man. I hope I don't, but my team come out to my tune.
It's finally Derby Day.
What a way to kick off the weekend as we head up to Manchester.
Manchester is a city of two halves, Manchester United and Manchester City. And a derby is always a special day in this town.
City and United. This is the match that matters even when there's nothing riding on it. This time it's been described as the most interesting.
City fan Laura is getting ready to go to their match with her family, but they don't all share her allegiance to City.
Who does Mummy support? The Blues. And who does Daddy support? Reds. And who do you support? Bolton. It's a great family occasion, actually, and it's a time when there's a friendly rivalry going on there. But God, if we don't win, it's just the worst. The worst.
On the other side of town, United fan Vinny knows how much is riding on the game.
There is 5 games to go, and if we get sufficient points in them 5 games, we win the league. The significance for them is greater because it's their chance to possibly get into the Champions League, and also the chance to stop United from winning the Premiership, which I'm sure they would enjoy.
United fan Pete is the first pick-up on his shuttle to the match.
It's been described as the most important in the club's history by City boss Roberto Mancini and the most significant in his time by Sir Alex Ferguson.
City today, they're playing to achieve something. So whether that'll spur City on or maybe that'll make them more nervous, I don't know.
Across town, City mad Natalie prepares for one of the biggest days in her year.
Sometimes you think that football is just football and there's more to life than football, but then you could never say that on a derby day, never.
For fans and players alike, the tension is like nothing else in football.
You try and block out your mind, but you can't. You see it in the news, you see it in the papers, everywhere you go. Make sure you win Saturday. People you never met before, wherever you go, make sure you win Saturday, make sure you beat them.
And as it gets closer and closer, it starts to, you don't eat so much food. You start to think about it, who you're playing against, hoping we're going to win.
No matter how many games you've played in, whether it's your first one or your 50th one, even in the 50th one, you're as nervous as you are in your very first derby game, because you're in the dressing room before kick-off, and certainly then you're in no doubt the importance of the game.
A derby day in Manchester is a particular day. The city is cut in two. The Blues and the Reds invade the streets. And if your club wins, then the city belongs to you.
Here we are, Council House, the biggest council house in Manchester.
Well, now coming the wrong entrance, it's the next one, I think.
I feel pretty positive, and probably the most positive I've ever felt in a derby, but at the end of the day it is City, so you do never know.
In factories, in offices and in homes, the result of the derby takes on a special meaning.
Those fans go into work on a Monday morning to face each other. The bragging rights they can get if their team wins that Saturday, it probably lasts for months. When we come off that coach, you could hear them, Fergie, beat this mob, as if you're playing against some evil intruder into the world.
Teams on the way out now. The City anthem being sung with gusto. But it is a passionate bear pit, a cauldron of animosity, red against blue.
Finally, kick-off. The drama begins. Both sides have good chances, but no one manages to break the deadlock. And at half-time, the score remains 0-0.
It's so nerve-wracking, and I'm getting a bit old for this. I'm not sure if I can stand the next 45 minutes. I'm really not sure.
The match reaches full time without a goal, and it appears the spoils will this time be divided. But then in the final minute of injury time, City give the ball away. It's wild euphoria for United. And it's nothing but anguish for Laura and Joy. The last gasp goal from Paul Scholes has made all the difference. Between agonising defeat and sweet victory.
I think we were the better team today. I genuinely do, and I think that is just typical United. It's so unfair. And then seeing my husband like that in my face, it's just awful, horrible. Today's just going to be hideous.
It's more than 3 points for United. It's victory over their greatest rivals. Back at home, Joy decides to call into sports radio to have her say on the match.
OK, Peter, thanks for your call. Let's go to Joy in Manchester.
You're into the last minute of the game. The one thing you do, OK, you're trying to score a goal, but you do not lose possession in the last minute of the game. And how many times this season have Manchester United managed to steal a game really?
OK, Joy, thank you very much indeed for your call. Joy knows better than I do City's remaining games.
And then when that ball goes in the net...
With Joy utterly defeated, Eric decides to go round and commiserate.
I know it's only a game of football, but we were absolutely shattered to lose, and I think if anybody saw our reaction, you would know that. And our reaction now is even more amazing, because I do not believe who's just walked into the room, and it's absolutely a great privilege. Thank you so much.
Even though you play for United, it's okay. You're welcome in my house. Anthony, come here.
Mr. Cantona. Nice to meet you. It's a pleasure to meet you. Right.
It's quite incredible.
That's Mr. Cantona in my kitchen. Right, and you guys should...
Conversation inevitably turns to the game.
So I met a friend in a pub, and straight away we started talking about the football. And Laura told me off in front of the whole pub for talking about the score.
Yeah, because you were winding me up, massively winding me up. It's very raw, but it's all right. It's fine now.
I'm very happy.
A 0-0 draw would have been about the right result at the end of the game.
I think you should play against United a game of 85 minutes.
I think that's probably true.
Listen, 90 minutes would be fine. With Fergie time, it's 96, 97, 98.
3 minutes of added time.
The most important thing I have seen in Manchester is that it doesn't matter who you support. People here love football. Not to escape from reality, but to live in another dimension for 90 minutes. And a derby is always a special day in this town.
As both City and United continue to grow, so too will their rivalry. But above all, it's the Mancunians' passionate love of football which continues to define them, carried down, as it always has been, to the next generation.
That is the king up there. Always the king, that's Eric. Are you listening to me?
This is my gorgeous, amazing godson, Sebastian.
And that is Georgie. That's who you're named after.
While I'm babysitting, I sing City songs at him, and hopefully I think, well, it'll go in his head now, and then, you know, maybe it'll stick with him for life. So I'm going to do my absolute best to make sure that he's a City fan.
Some people choose blue, some people choose red. Luckily, you born to a red family.
We start school in September, don't you, mate? But we'll be going to the match soon, won't we? Tell the man, do you like football?
Yeah.
Who do we like?
The red.
And who don't we like?
The blue.
And who else don't we like?
The Scouts.
That's right.
Look. This is a very special person.
Very, very famous person.
This is called Eric Cantona. He's
Eric Cantona.
Oh, you're
So Scooby-Doo.